Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's recap video, we're going to be talking about the swing trades first, which is the QS. We're just going to be talking about QS. That's the only ticker that I want to really give an update on, and then we'll talk about the day trades, kind of switching the flow a little bit here. So for those of you guys who don't know, we entered this one on Monday when after it had a long consolidation period, 86% off the highs with a pretty decent short ratio in terms of, I think it was like a 4.0 short ratio. So how long it takes shorts to cover. I like the potential for a bounce off the floors of QS. We're long around $13.6 thousand, and our average on this one, actually, if we just come here to view the trade, let's actually view this one, this entry. Our average right now is at 22.74, which should be roughly the price. It's actually should be exactly the price it says here. So let's go to QS, 22.74, looking good. So yeah, let's go ahead and review this one and see how it's been going. Because right now we are up around $2.3 thousand on this trade, and this is just from a 2-day long swing trade. It had a huge rally this morning, which is looking really nice, and everything's going as planned. So we had that, like I said, we had that big breakout here. Here's the 180 simple moving average. We had a nice breakout here, found support, and we started buying into all the pullbacks here. So if we just go to the 5-minute, you'll see this one a little bit better. We were buying into these initial pullbacks. I probably would have went a little bit bigger size, but this account, my IRA account, is max allocated right now, so no additional capital in this account, which is fine. Now, I do expect at one point it's going to have probably a pullback below the 9 EMA, but right now it's still on a very solid front side move. We might have a break past 27, but I don't really plan on selling this one anytime soon unless we had a huge move. But right now, we're up like around 15% or so. I said I wanted to cut my losses if we dive below the 9 EMA right here, this exponential moving average, but we're still maintaining that nice uptrend. So what I want to see is if we break this $29 zone, that's going to be a big area. This $32 zone is going to be a big area, and then maybe we'll go and reach the 180-day simple moving average, or maybe even break it a little bit. But that's probably a place I would be looking to take some profits. So somewhere in this area, I would be ideally looking to take some profits. I'm not sure if I would do a re-entry or not, potentially depending on how it pulls back and how it holds its highs. But for now, this is a bit of a profit-taking zone, and the reason it's not a trade where I'm doing like a trend following strategy where I'm accumulating and constantly buying into the highs is, well, one reason is this trade's already max allocated, and the second reason for that is this isn't a front side move. This is a backside trade. So this is more of a dumpster dive kind of trade. So we're down, like I said, about 86% from the lows here in this area. And we're not riding it like it was, let's say, in this area. So this is when the merger happened and we had our shares converted. But we weren't, let's say, riding this one. I sold this one too soon, but when you're on a clear front side, we want to be riding the 9 EMA until it breaks. So like maybe selling somewhere in this area as soon as possible, or selling on one of these extended green days. But when you're on the backside, you're not really looking to ride that 9 EMA as long as possible. You're pretty much just looking for that nice bounce off the lows, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's why I do have a profit target on this one. So overall, everything's going as planned. Now we're actually having that break a little bit lower here. Like I said before, I do think maybe we'll get another move past 27 today, but for now, it looks like we're going to enter the backside temporarily intraday, and we'll see how well it holds the highs. That's the important part, and that's the last thing I wanted to comment on this one. The day before, we actually, we kind of had a negative day here overall. I think we opened somewhere in this area. We sold off here, so down about 3%, which really isn't that bad. We had a nice breakout. We held our highs. We had a little bit of a gun pattern here. We didn't break this $25 zone, unfortunately, but that's fine because overall, if we go to a 15-minute chart, you can see this is a really nice first stair overall. Big breakout, first stair consolidation, breakout again. So I really like the consistency behind QS, and that's why I'm in no rush to sell this one too soon, and I just want to keep holding and keep riding this one. But let's go forward and check out the day trading portfolio. So today was a little bit of a choppy day for me. RNAZ is actually the ticker I'm up on the most, $700, and MRM, the lead gapper on the day, is the one I'm down 548 on. This was really hectic. I was down at one point today like $700, which was a little bit annoying, which is around like 6 to 8% based on my average size. Sometimes, like these last 3 days, I've been trading really small size, like $5,000, but usually I'm trying to do around $20,000 a trade. So when I was down around, $700 based on my smaller size this week, it was kind of a big red day so far. So by the time I kind of crawled out of the hole and I was up 162, I had a hard time, still gunning it on RNAZ, and I felt like I could have done a much better job on this one. So let's dive into these 3 tickers and talk about each trade individually and what I could have done to improve that a little bit. Actually, really quickly, let's start off with DBGI, because with DBGI, this ticker, DBGI was the first one I traded on the day, and it was a really, really quick trade. It's not much to mention here. It was just kind of like popping up a little bit, big resistance at $3, and we were right above $3, and I thought, okay, well, let's see here, first ticker, let's try it. Very quick trade in this area, but had so low volume. This is a $3 ticker, so 100,000 shares isn't really that much, and this was a partial size. Ideal size on this one would be like 5,000 shares or so, and that would mean I'm 5% of the volume on DBGI, and I don't want to do that. So if I'm 5% of volume on a ticker, that's how I know it's too little volume, and that's why I kind of walked away with this one, took my 10 profit and left. All right, let's talk about MRM. Always the best thing to do is, I think, starting on the daily chart. So this is MRN. This was our lead gapper today, and here you can see, 80 million market cap. Nice levels that we're usually looking to trade. 5 million shares outstanding, all looking really good. Had a catalyst today, so everything that I usually look for. Again, I wasn't super focused on these stats, and this is actually the first time I'm really reviewing them with you guys, because I really just want to be focused on the price action right now. So let's zoom into this one a little bit more and see how well it did. Well, we had that first kind of big move here on extended hours, right? Power hour from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there was nothing. And then after that, extended hours, that's really when this ticker started moving. And then it consolidated, and then we had that second move here. And into this move, this was really a bit of my mistake today. I didn't get aggressive in any of this, and I really kind of regret that. That's where I could have made a lot of money. I started trading this one a little bit late here into the breakout. And a lot of these moves I made like a little bit of profit on. It was very scalpy. I wish I just, accumulated constantly as we were going above the 9 EMA, but, always easier said than done. It's one of those things that, sometimes you just trip over yourself on. That's what I was doing. I was kind of like buying late and selling too quickly and just getting a little bit scalpy on this one. And then I'm not sure which trade it was. I gave back a lot of profits. I was up like 3-4% on MRN. And then here it is. In this trade, I gave back so much profit. And I think this psyched me out for a little bit today. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. So here we had a kind of a 5-minute breakout, and I was looking to buy that 1-minute pullback and have continuation. This trade was a very quick one, made a little profit on, and then I started accumulating into this move right here. And then randomly, in this candle right now, it flushes like 5%. And this happened so quick. It was like just wicked, and I thought, oh man, that was a really quick move, and I was worried about a second candle like that because that would have stopped me out for the day, so I sold pretty much right away. Unfortunately, I got out, or fortunately I got out not at the perfect low, but it still was a big loser for me. It was also one of my bigger sizes on the day, so that was kind of annoying because all these trades were kind of smaller size, and then finally my red trade, I have full size on this one. It's just whack, and I think that kind of mentally put me off a little bit, not just on MRM, but just in taking risk today, and I think that was a big mistake. So eventually this one crawls up again, did some small trades on it, but I don't know, after that one I was really not into trading MRM again because I just felt like there was something going on with this ticker with nasty flushes, and I was right because look, this big flush here, big flush here, big flush here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just constantly flushing, so it's easy to get stuck in this ticker and give back all your profits. So I'm happy I didn't necessarily trade this, but I don't know. It's always hard to say what would have happened, but I feel like MRM has a lot of risk, and I think I brought that into my next trade. Okay, and now moving to RNAZ. This was the big whacker of the day, and man, we could have really milked this one, but like I said, I was already really red on the day on MRM, so by the time I got to RNAZ, I think I wasn't in the right headspace anymore, and I was just a little bit nervous trading this one, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, this one had kind of a weird start to the day. Like, this price action here was totally messy. I probably should have traded it into this pullback here and traded this as well. So I think I not necessarily regret that I didn't, but I definitely should have. I should have not sat this one out. I actually don't even remember really watching this price action, so I don't really recall what I was doing at the time. I remember I was in the lobby at the hotel we're at, and I was freezing. That's like the main thing that I remember. Anywho, not so important, but once the market opened, MRM got halted, and I was looking at RNAZ for that price action. This one had a bit of a sell-off here, but it held its highs, went red to green on the day. So the daily candle was red and then went green. That's a red to green move, and I started trading it after that. Got a nice little pullback here. This thing flushed, bought again, and kept on trying to trade it in this area, but never to the point where it was too impressive. And actually, let's see if I could zoom in a little bit more here. Yeah, this open was a little hectic because we had that big move here, and I bought that first pullback. My plan was initially to wait for a big breakout here, which kind of happened at first, but it was more of a fake out. So I noticed there's like a lot of sketchy price action. There was a lot of sellers popping up, so I became a seller and just sold really quickly. And literally right after I sold, I got really lucky here, sold near the highs. It flushed like 6%. This was nasty. But once it recovered and started moving back higher, I joined this one looking for that break, and I got it. But again, it didn't break the 3.6 right away, and I sold. And my exit was pretty good, but it was a small size, so not really too important. And after this trade, I was green on the day. I was up like, I don't know, 170 or something like that. And I don't know, being down like 7% and then being green on the day, when you're down 7%, you're just like, if I could just get to break even, I'll be happy and I'll walk away, right? That's like the mindset you're in. So once you're green on the day after being so red, I think this is why I didn't want to, give back profits and be back down 7% again. I think that's what messed me up here, and I didn't trade, these really not great, beautiful, picture perfect moves, but that's ultimately why I didn't trade any of this. And then it did. Yeah, I think at this point I get a little bit of FOMO because I missed all this. So I tried a few scalpy trades here, and ultimately all I do is give back like $12 or something like this. So this is just a bunch of scratches, and then I was done. I was like, man, like I'm not in the right headspace anymore. I gotta pack up here and go to another hotel soon. So I'm just like, let me just call it before I do something silly. And yeah, eventually this one pops up and flushes so hard. So probably a good thing I did that, because who knows if I would have bought that breakout or whatnot. And today in the Discord, Tom was absolutely killing it, and his last trade, I think he gave back like 6% of his profits or so. But I think at one point I said, let me scroll up. Yeah, here we go. I said we're all trading through Tom today, because Tom was just absolutely killing it, just averaging into this one. He was up around 20% or so on the day, so absolutely awesome work there. And yeah, it just goes to show, if you start seeing a ticker getting it with good volume, and it's a nice upwards trend, just start getting aggressive on it, start accumulating into that and that's exactly what I did wrong today. I mean, with MRM, if I just got aggressive on this one, I could have probably wrapped up pre-market and just walked away. They had this ticker had this perfect front side move here, just absolutely great. If you're just accumulating into this one, riding it, I mean, you could be up 20-30% on that. I mean, obviously, if you're constantly averaging higher, it's going to move up your cost per unit. So that's not necessarily the case, but you could just have one decent winner, and then pretty much be done. And I would always say be really careful after you rode one front side really well, because if you start trading chop and you're still in that front side mindset, that's where you start giving back profit. So sometimes after I have a really good front side move, I'll just walk away for a little bit, and then give the market like 30 minutes or so, until it forms and gets ready for a secondary front side move, just like this one. Because when you're still in that front side mindset and you start trading the backside, things can get really sloppy in that area. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the recap. I'll take my, a small $162 green day today. Ultimately, the big winner here is right now with QS, and I want to keep riding this one as long as possible. So that's kind of what I wanted to make the focus on in today's video. All right, so we got one more day this week. We're on a really solid green streak here, 4 + 4. So we got 8-day green streak. Hopefully tomorrow we can make it a 9-day green streak. And I just got to remember, market's heating up, so I got to get a little bit more aggressive. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I need to work on. Anyway, guys, I think that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you're new, and like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao.